What's up, everybody? Welcome to ABL Primetime. I know it's been a while, I know it's been long overdue, but today we're back with ABL Primetime. Now, today's episode of Primetime is going to be a little bit different. It's a little bit more fast-paced. We will have a battle commentated, don't worry about that one. But what we will also have is a lot of announcements on the future of ABL and what has been currently going on for Season 4, kind of like an overview of Season 4, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, if you guys do remember, at the beginning of the season, we said there was going to be some changes, so today we are addressing that right before we get into the final week and then playoffs, of course. Now, with that being said, I want to remind everybody that ABL Season 4 has been a pay-in, or has had a pay-in this season for the first time. However, instead of originally using that pay-in for prizes, what we decided to do, as you guys all remember, was support Black Lives Matter and donate those funds towards, fighting social injustice, systematic racism, so on and so forth. With that being said, there is one prize, however, still going on, and it is that prize that you guys see down here, that ABL Season 4 trophy. I can pick it up right now, but I'm not going to pick it up. I don't want to put my fingers on it, but it's right there. You can see the picture down below. It's better if you look at the picture because you'll just see my face. It's see-through, it's glass. But there will be one trophy for the winner, and we will be talking about which teams might actually be in the running for that trophy because a lot of teams are not making playoffs. Also, today, big changes. You guys are going to find a lot of interesting information here, but stick around. Don't miss it. ABL Primetime begins now. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is ABL Season 4? No, let's talk about everything. Let's talk about the ABL. When we founded the ABL back in 2019, was it just a year ago? It was just a year ago. Yeah, so back in 2019, January 2019, we started off on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee with the idea of testing the waters of rule set for a draft league, of course. So we ran 2 seasons of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in a doubles format, not necessarily looking for competition, but primarily looking for structure. Those first 2 seasons were a great success. As anybody that has tried to run a draft league before comes to realize, people dropping, lackluster set of rules, improper management are big factors that leagues that are starting off have a difficult time with. However, our first 2 seasons were massive success. We had great staff members that are still here to this day, and there was a lot of motivation behind the individuals participating. We took it one step further in Season 3 with Sword and Shield. We wanted to be the first doubles league. This is back before we knew anything about the timer, back about anything, that VGC is like the only way you get to play competitive now. So we just went with that idea from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in our structure to let's go doubles, because people don't do doubles that much. Again, before the timer. People don't do doubles that much, and we can make our league as similar to the official format as possible, which is VGC, but have it be draft league. And that's what we did. And Season 3 was an incredible success, probably the most successful season we've had. We had big coaches, big VGC competitors compete, and it was great. We had prizes for first, second, third place. We had prizes for the exceptional content creator, and then at that point we knew we wanted to have a pay-in so that we could continue to fund those prizes for Season 4 forward. Come Season 4, and we do that. However, we hold off on the prizes as we try to see how the paywall and the pay entry fee goes into play, and if people are willing to do so, and whether or not they were willing to do so, and would they understand that it was for prizes. And it was a massive success as well. However, because of everything going on in the world, we as a staff decided we need to make our voices heard. We need to make sure that, yeah, this is Pokemon. Yes, this is quote-unquote a kid's game. But at the end of the day, any platform is better than no platform to make a voice, and spread awareness and just fight the good fight, So we did that for Season 4. So we took a step back in that sense, and while at the same time kind of taking a step forward to see how the future would look. So with that being said, Season 4 was also always going to be my personal last season with the ABL in terms of staff, structure, organization. As you guys can see and tell with the last few weeks, it's been a little bit lackluster, right? I haven't been around as much. I haven't been hosting primetime as much. And that is because, of course, we've got some stuff going on, whether it's internships, jobs, or stuff that you guys might find out at some point in the future when I can actually talk about it. Yeah, I've been super busy, but this has been something that I've known was going to happen. So formulating season 4 in the background, the staff chat has been talking about this for the longest time, organizing ourselves for season 5 forward. With that being said, today's the day we get to officially say that SV Tornado is going to be taking over the reins of the primary person in charge of the Amateur Battle League. She, along with her group of staff and her restructure, because there will be some sort of restructure with the staff, of course, and anybody that is currently interested participating still, I believe, has a chance to talk to her in order to get a slot into staff, so on and so forth. But SV Tornado will be taking over, I guess, the commissioner, you know, the league chairman, so on and so forth, whatever you want to call that role, admin, you know, of the Amateur Battle League. Of course, myself, Perk, you know, and the rest of the elder staff founded the league. However, it is now moving on to SV Tornado. I will be around in the Discord server. I will be around in the ABL forever because it was a passion project and I love where it's gotten. However, I can tell you that moving forward, it is going to get better. You guys won't be relying on me because, again, these past few weeks, as you guys can tell, there's been no prime time. So with that being said, changes. SV Tornado Season 5. Boom. That will probably take start at the Crown Tundra. Season 4 is about to end within the next 4 weeks. I'm going to say 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't remember how playoffs work. We have one more week before playoffs, and then we have at least 3 rounds of playoffs. So it's 4 weeks before the season ends. Minors, I believe, is still a thing. It's going to be the non-upload version of ABL. So for those that cannot upload, we'll probably still be battling in minors. And for those of you that want to upload on YouTube, do the whole doubles format fiasco thing, ABL will continue. Most of the rule set is going to stay the same from what I'm understanding. Again, you guys will probably get your own press conference type thing with Tornado, but you know, she'll address it the way she thinks fit. But I believe, from what I'm understanding, most of the rules are going to stay the same in terms of like organization wise. It's going to be very professionally organized. You guys will not have to worry about, oh, I scheduled a battle for tomorrow and, you know, my opponent hasn't shown and I wasted 2 hours on the computer just waiting for them. I could have been, you know, kicking in at Warzone, Fortnite, you know, making a TikTok, whatever the kids do, because I feel really old when I say all this stuff. But, you know, you don't have to worry about that. I think the structure is still going to be there, and I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't believe that. Now, for those of you wondering, what am I going to do? Because I'll probably have my own thing on my own channel, but I will still be doing some Pokemon stuff. I can't necessarily say I'm making my own league because it's not a league per se. But I do want to visit the realm of hosting tournaments, which is a little bit different. If you guys don't know about myself, I'll give you guys a little bit of spiel. Martial arts instructor for, I don't want to say how many years, but a long time. It's more than 15, but a long time. And I've hosted, I've helped host, because you don't do it by yourself, 3 tournaments, 2 of them being international tournaments, hosting over 10 countries. So the experience of hosting events is there, and they take a long time to organize. So I kind of want to bring that into the best place possible. Because of that experience, we did come up with the DSS, the Dynamic Shuffle System for the ABL, which provides an opportunity for people that are not doing so hot in the first few weeks of the league to come back, which we've seen and we'll talk about later in today's prime time. However, I want to do more tournament structured things because I think it's my expertise. So I'll probably be venturing into VGC tournaments. I'm trying to get some contacts going and talking to some people. I don't want to step on any toes, any you know, I don't want to step on people's terrain, but I do want to visit that realm. So I'll probably be posting something about it at some point. With that out of the way, and ABL moving to Season 5, which I guess I confirmed. Sorry, Torn, I confirmed Season 5. But let's talk about Season 4 and, you know, where we're at. Because we have a lot of progress and a lot of things to talk about because I haven't been here for a hot minute. So let's pop up the current standings of the Armor Division. What we have right here is the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils leading the pack at 5-2 with the +9 differential, Copenhagen Canines at 5-2, Lansing Leafeons at 4-2, Minnesota Berserkers at 4-3, the NJ Brobats at 3-3, and then we have the Boston Red Claws at 2-5. Now, there's some matches that haven't been completely put in yet, of course, as you guys can clearly tell. You're still missing the Lansing Leafeons and NJ Brobats to be confirmed at the time of recording this. So let's talk about let's go from the bottom up, right? The Boston Red Claws don't make playoffs. There's absolutely no way we make playoffs because of the way the Crown Division is currently in standings. So the Boston Red Claws can win this last game against the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils. They're not going anywhere. So it's probably going to be a meme match, I'll tell you guys right now, as I'm the coach. But we'll see. NJ Brobats, or let's backtrack. Boston Red Claws had a very tough few weeks. I think the fact that they didn't drop down to Crown Division was a detriment, because then they faced a rematch, and then they faced a bunch of tougher opponents, I would rather say, than what they would have in the other division. With that being said, they seem to not get their footing, conducted way too many trades, and then the team was just not the same team that they had drafted. So their initial plan was completely out the window after week 4. So a lot of stuff going on with the Boston Red Claws. NJ Brobats started off kind of weak, picked up some momentum. We have to wait and see what happens with the Lansing Leafeons, though, because if they do, they're in a position where they need to win, obviously, this game right here that we're talking about right now, and then the following game, and I believe they can secure a place in playoffs. Not too positive, though, because differential is going to play a factor, but they're in a pretty good place in differential at +7, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. Minnesota Berserkers, again, the Leafeons, Berserkers, and Brobats, it's still game for playoff positioning. I think the Lansing Leafeons being the better of the pack because of that huge differential that they got going for them, so I believe they should be pretty safe, the Leafeons at least, but the Berserkers are fighting it, I believe. There's how many slots? 8 slots? So the Berserkers might be fighting it, and so might the Brobats. Again, we got to see that final match between the Brobats, because if depending on who wins and loses, Minnesota might be confirmed. So it just depends here what's going on. But the Minnesota Berserkers, being a brand new team coming into season, I believe it was like maybe not their first time in doubles, but it's early on in their doubles format, and they're doing very well. Very neutral win-loss, very neutral area differential. So coming into teams like the Boston Grambles, Boston Red Claws, Dashing Dittos, teams that have already played in this format before, very, very good performance from them. Lansing Leafeon started off kind of weak, but again, showing how and why they were the top dogs in Season 3. They picked it up, turned it around, made some transactions, adjusted a little bit, and have just been killing it week after week after, I guess, adjusting to whatever it was that happened in the first few weeks. Copenhagen Canines, the reigning champion, what can we say? Solidifying themselves this time. Last time they kind of played with the dynamic shuffle system to kind of secure their slot in. This time they've just been in Armor Division since week 1, and they've been dominant the whole season. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're guaranteed playoffs, so it's going to be interesting to see if playoff changes the whole scenario for them, because there's some teams from the other side that they haven't matched up with yet. So definitely going to have to look out for the Copenhagen Canines. Cuernavaca Cyndaquils dominating as well. Very solid team, very solid performance. Again, guaranteed, so playoffs is going to be very interesting for them as well. It's going to be very fun to see if they start doing any crazy shenanigans with their team, because they have a lot of valuable options to play around with. So let's go ahead and move on to the Crown Division real quick and talk about what the scenario is over there. All right, so with the Crown Division, we have the St. Hubert's Castaways, the second place team at the first position, leading the pack at 5-2. Vancouver Corviknights, another team that went into playoffs last time, at 5-2. Herkimer Dreadnoughts, a brand new team, at 3-4. Dashing Dittos at 3-4. Honolulu Toros at 1-6. They were 0-6 last week. Now they're up at 1-6. And the Boston Grambles not being able to find a single victory all season long. This is a team that had made playoffs last season, so definitely shocking to say the least, especially with that incredible differential that they're dealing with at a -26. Of course, from here, you guys know there's absolutely no way Boston Grambles make it in. Honolulu Toros are not making it in. I think it's even fair to say that Dashing Dittos might not even make it in either. It's definitely going to be a match of Herkimer Dreadnoughts, NJ Brobats, and then Minnesota Berserkers fighting it out, depending on this week, differential, how that all plays out. Those are the 3 teams fighting for that last slot. St. Hubert's Castaways and Vancouver Corver Knights secured. So again, what it looks like right now we have is Cuernavaca Cyndaquils, St. Hubert's Castaways, Vancouver Corver Knights, Lansing Leafeons, Copenhagen Canines. I say that, I don't know if I did or not, but those 5 teams made playoffs last season. The only other few teams missing, or except for the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils, they didn't make it. But the only teams missing was my team, Boston Grambles, to have like a repeat scenario. But those teams making playoffs, along with the potential of the Minnesota Berserkers, either the Herkimer Dreadnoughts, and the NJ Brobats. Those are all up in the air as well. So again, very, very challenging set of people coming into playoffs, because playoffs is going to be very tough. As we've seen before last season, these teams that we already know how they perform in playoffs change their game up so much into a much more precise and strategic approach. You guys saw teams like the Vancouver Corver Knights completely destroy my team in playoffs last season. They were the ones that took away the San Juan Frokies, which is now the Boston Red Claws. Teams like that, St. Hubert's Castaways making it all the way to finals, and then the Copenhagen Canines, when they were like the underdog coming into playoffs last season, completely overshadowing everybody going in. Granted, the format last season was a little bit different. Once you made it to playoffs, it shifted into a VGC format. So this season is just a full-on 6v6 doubles draft. So it's going to be interesting to see if that helps some of these teams going in, or if it just doesn't even matter because these teams have just prepared all season for this. So again, that's the outlook we have right now. We're waiting for this week to finalize the teams that are receiving that playoff slot. But with that being said, let's go ahead and watch today's battle, which I believe you guys will enjoy. I don't think I have anything else for anybody here other than, Season 5 is going to be great. The trophy down here for Season 4 needs a winner, so hopefully one of these teams are super hungry to get it. And we're going to have a commentated match going up for you guys right now. This is the final prime time. That's what I forgot to do. We are giving away the final power play winners. These are going to be rapid fire. Now, gotta state, we do need to confirm that the Dashing Dittos won their power play. We got the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils receiving theirs, coming up with the next batch of winners. And we're going to announce the final 3 power play winners right now, back to back to back, okay? So worry not, we're going to just go ahead and say them back to back to back. Hopefully you guys are ready. We got the Lansing Leafeons. I have them listed right here. We have the Minnesota Berserkers, and then we have the NJ Brobats. All 3 getting power play victories. And again, you guys will be contacted together alongside SoySalomonster and the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils. Those 4 will be contacted together for those final weeks of power play winners. Now, without any further delay, I've given you guys everything I have for you, including the fact that SV Tornado is going to take over the Amateur Battle League with her team of staff, which I'm really looking forward to. I might join the season. If I have the free time, I'll join the season. But without any further delay, my name is Kershaka. There's going to be no more prime time. This is the last one because we're going to playoffs following the following week. So some adjustments need to be made. The prize needs to start getting packaged and sanitized and set aside starting next week. That way, COVID can't technically live in there and so on and so forth. So we sanitize it, keep it away, store it, but the whole deal, just like we did last season. We're doing it again this time. It worked well last season. So again, fret not about that. That's why we're not having prime time next week. So again, this is the last prime time. We've got the overview. You guys have got your news. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, my name's Kershaka. This is my last time saying, I'm running the ABL. Maybe I should just ban everybody and give myself the trophy. Just kidding. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support in Primetime. Thank you so much for the support in ABL. Hopefully, you guys will stick around to ABL. Hopefully, you guys will continue to support with the entry fees. ABL loves to spread awareness, and this season was all about it. You guys definitely showed and played your part. All the coaches played your part in, showing support, right? And we're using this amazing platform, this amazing game that unifies all of us together across the world to spread a positive message. And on top of all that, I just want to say thank you guys. So without any further delay, I think now I've covered it. Thank you so much for watching ABL Primetime. My name's Kershaka, coach of the Boston Red Claws. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.
Hello everyone, I am SoySalomonster and welcome to this week's primetime battle between SV Tornado and Teichichu. We have the Vancouver Corbinites against the Dashing Dittos, and we're looking at Torn. She's trying to pick up her team. I think she already had that lead locked in. It's going to be with Arthur, the Zacian, and Leon, the Charizard, which she also brought Urshifu, Seismitoad, the Dragapult, and the Ninetales. On Tay's side, we're seeing Venusaur, Terrakion, Azumarill, Torkoal, Gastrodon, and Whimsicott. So it looks to me like both teams are going for some Sun stuff. I do think that the Terrakion on Tay's side can put a lot of work. I think that I think that the Zacian is a monster. Back when I faced that thing, I knew that that's what was going to give me the most trouble. How do both of these coaches got here to this match? Torn and Tay are both in the Crown division, and Torn right now is doing really well. She's got a streak going, and Tay hasn't been doing poorly, but I don't think is going to be able to make playoffs anymore, while Torn is actually fighting to get first or second seed. So let's see how this match goes. Best of luck to both coaches. We know that Torn is sending in the Charizard along with the Zacian, and Tay is going to be sending out Whimsicott and Azumarill. Interesting. So I'm thinking that Tay probably predicted the Sun to be the first thing that she saw. We see the shiny black Charizard, always nice to see. There goes the Intrepid Sword, boosting the already crazy attack on Zacian even further. So right now, I believe that Whimsicott could probably try to set up a Tailwind. That would help the Azumarill. And meanwhile, on Torn's side, I'm not sure if Torn wants to go for the Dynamax, Gigantamax right away, or does she want to save it for later? She also does have the option of going for the Dynamax or Gigantamax with the Urshifu, but I believe we're going to see a switch because probably Charizard doesn't want to be in there against the Azumarill. Right now, I also believe that talking about the stats, the Venusaur coming into this match, the Venusaur from the Dashing Dittos is the kill leader, but we do see the switch into the Saposai, lovely Saposai, and we're gonna have a play rough into the Azumarill. That is big damage. It's big damage, and there's a berry popping, so Azumarill is going to get a bit back. That's still going to 2-hit KO. The Whimsicott is going for the Moonblast on the Zacian. I'm not sure that's enough damage, but oh, the Water Absorb. Azumarill was going for the Waterfall onto that Saposai, but the Water Absorb coming through. And now apparently we're going to see another switch. I am still expecting the Whimsicott to go for the Tailwind. I think that the Tailwind would put Tay in a really good position. Azumarill is not going to be able to take another play rough from the Zacian. And I'm not sure that Saposai wants to stay there against the Whimsy. That was actually a good call, but no, definitely not. The Saposai is going back out, Kitsune, and I think that Tay is probably launching a Grass Attack into the Saposai slot, expecting to hit that with a Grass type move, but I think that's not going to be possible. Azumarill is going out. Tay is saying, okay, so you left me at half of my HP. I can still work with that, but here comes another play rough, and look at that again. Zacian just going crazy. That thing is crazy. Another Pokemon that went down to almost no health at all. The berry having to pop again, another Moonblast into the Zacian. Oh, and this time we do get the drop, a special attack drop, which is not really going to help Tay's cause. I'm still wondering why Tay didn't decide to go, for example, for a Tailwind, but at least the Arthur is down to a little bit over 1/3 of its life. Right now we see Torn wondering what she wants to go for. We do see that Torn has the Play Rough, Psychic Fangs, Crunch, and Close Combat. The Psychic Fangs is probably going to be doing a lot of damage to Venusaur if it comes to that. but Venusaur in the sun is probably going to be outspeeding. We did see the Ninetales earlier setting up that sun with the Drought. I'm expecting Ninetales now to go for probably a Heat Wave. I didn't see what she picked here. But we do see the Psychic Fangs into the Whimsicott. That's going to break Sash. Whimsicott is going to go for another Moonblast. And still living. Arthur refusing to go down. We do see the Weather Ball that is powered up by the sun. So that is probably going to be enough to take out an already weakened Whimsicott. And it is. First kill of the night goes to the Vancouver Corbinites. Ooh, but Gastrodon coming in with the recover. That is definitely going to allow it to survive another hit from the Zacian. But I do believe that we saw the Ninetales was carrying Solar Beam. So Tate doesn't know that right now, but look at that, here comes the big Venusaur. Venusaur is definitely going to max here, I think. I'm not sure if it's worth going for a poison move just to finish off the Arthur when the Ninetales is right there. So Torn is going to be considering her options here. I'm not sure if the Arthur was carrying an item to boost speed, because the problem here for Tay is that she can go for the Arthur. If she is a chlorophyll version, which she probably is, we know that the sun is going to be staying up for a while because that Ninetales is rocking the Heat Rock. But would it be more worth it for Tay to just take the damage on the plant and go straight for the Kitsune, or does Tay want to just get rid of the Zacian? We're about to find out, because here comes the max from Teichichu and the Dashing Dittos. And look at that, it's going to be Big Boy Venusaur, the G-Max of course. Vinelash is such a useful move. Vinelash and Canyonade that got recently introduced to match the Wildfire that we're probably going to see still from Torn's side. Fastest thing on the field is going to be the Venusaur, and it does go for the big Max Quake. Is that going to be enough to take out the Ninetales? It is a one-shot, clean one-shot on the Ninetales that already kind of did its job setting up the sun. That big boy Venusaur is going to get a nice special defense boost that again is not going to be as helpful against Zacian. We do see that it's a Life Orb variant, but here comes the Psychic Fangs, and oh, look at that damage! Zacian is ridiculous. Is the Muddy Water going to be enough to finally put Zacian down? Oh, nice. So now Zacian's out. Teichichu firing back, and it's currently 2-1. Tei is leading right now, but she did take a lot of damage on that Venusaur. She still got 2 turns of max. She is going to be faster than everything on Torn's side. I do see a choice card right there on the Saitama, so I'm not sure if that is enough to outspeed the Venusaur in the sun. We have a lot of turns of sun left. I believe it's going to be 5 more turns of sun. So Torn here, thinking about what she wants to go for, because she's going to have to do the double. That last turn was a double KO from the Dashing Dittos. So we have Gastrodon. I think Gastrodon was able to stay at almost full health due to the recover and the berry, so no item anymore on the Gastrodon, but we do know that berry is gone, so it's going to be the Leon. Charizard is back, we did see it at the start of the match, and then it's going to be the Sableye, Seismitoad coming in here, both of them shiny. So this is interesting because we know for sure then that the fastest thing on the field is going to be the Venusaur. However, the problem we hear for Tay is that I'm not sure Venusaur is going to have the firepower to be able to take down that Charizard before it's able to go for the G-Max and the Wildfire. And especially since we already saw the Max Quake, but that's not going to be enough. And it's not going to be even affecting the Charizard at all because of the flying type. We do see a switch here, and it's the Dragapult coming in, taking the place of the Sableye. That was probably a bait from Torn. I'm guessing Torn wanted Tay to go for a grass type move on the Sableye. So let's see if that worked out. Here comes the big Charizard. I love that Gigantamax. It looks so cool. More so when being a shiny. So did Tay go for it? Yes, Tay did go for it. The G-Max Vinelash going into the Dragapult. That is a big hit. But the Vinelash, even if it's got all the power that it has behind it, it was not going to be enough, and an airstream, so that was very smart from Torn. Dragapult baiting out the grass move, then switching into Dragapult, resisting it ×4, and now an airstream. Torn apparently knew that after the damage that the Psychic Fangs did to Venusaur, Torn didn't even need that Wildfire. We do get an Ice Beam from the Gastro, but it's not going to do a lot. Ice Beam might have been good on the other side against the Dragapult, because now the Airstream, Torn decided to go for the Airstream there to boost up the speed. Charizard's already pretty fast. The Dragapult, I don't think anything's going to be able to go before that Dragapult after that +1 to the speed. Tay does still have on her side the Gastro. The Azumarill already took a lot of damage, but it's still around. The Terrakion is probably her best bet right here, and yes it is. Here it comes, the Terrakion from Teichichu. Let's see what Torn is thinking about, because though Wildfire is not going to do much to either one, so Torn's probably going to have to go for coverage here. Airstream is neutral because Terrakion does have that fighting type along with the Rock. And also we have to remember that the Dragapult is going to be really fast now at +1, both of the Pokemon on Torn's side. Torn is taking her time, and she decides to go for the Max Guard. Interesting. And we do see a Thunder Wave. I believe that was a Thunder Wave that we saw there. The Max Guard coming in from the Leon. Dragapult is going to go for the Thunder Wave, and it's going to be into the Terrakion. That is big, because now Terrakion is going to be dealing with that paralysis. A Rock Slide. Charizard just Max Guarded, but it is going to go into the Dragapult. That is a KO for the Dragapult, and oh, but we did see the Cursed Body there. So if that Terrakion is going with a band or with a scarf, it has to switch out now because that move is disabled. It might not be a terrible idea, because that way it is paralyzed, but it doesn't have to deal with the Max Sard, which we do see is carrying a Chardy, so a Rock move is probably not going to be enough to end it, at least while it's maxed. Torn is thinking about this. Still got Saposai and the Saitama, which we haven't seen all match. Apparently it is going to be the Saitama Urshifu single strike coming in. We do still have 4 Pokemon on Teichichu's side. She does have the advantage right now in terms of Mons, but Terrakion is paralyzed, so that is a big issue for her. Especially because the Urshifu is definitely going to be outspeeding thanks to that Choice Scarf and a fighting move, for example, a close combat. The Max Quake we see here actually from the Charizard is going to be doing a lot of damage to Terrakion. So Tay does have to be very careful with what she decides to do here. We do see that the Max Quake is going to be going into the Terrak, and Torn actually doubling down on the Terrakion. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, Terrakion's going out. Terrakion's like, no thank you. No thank you, but we do see the Torkoal, and sadly for Tay, the Torkoal is going to be taking that Max Quake to the face. Charizard is super strong, solar powered boost, and it is a clean one-hit KO on the Torkoal. Poor Torkoal just came to say like hi, and ouch. Plus we do get the special defense boost on both the Charizard and the Saitama. The Urshifu, who's going to close combat into Gastrodon. That is a big hit. Not quite enough to take it out, but Gastrodon is not going to be able to take another one of those. And now both Azumarill and Terrakion in the back. The Muddy Water not doing too much to Leon thanks to the Sun still being up. I believe Sun might be going out in 1 or 2 turns. We do see a bit of damage from the Vine Lash. That is always nice. But I think that is also going to be the end of the Dynamax turns for the Charizard. A good use of them though, being able to take out the Venusaur, being able to also take out that Torkoal. So Terrakion is back, but Terrakion is paralyzed. It is the end of the Dynamax turns, or Gigantamax turns for the Charizard on the Vancouver Corviknight side. And we do remember that Azumarill had taken a lot of damage, so the advantage here for Tay on that aspect is that the Saitama is ×4 weak to the Azumarill, but the Azumarill is running low. We do see that there's a Scorching Sands aiming at the Terrakion. Is Torn deciding to double down this time? Right now we are tied, 3 Pokemon left on each side, but the Leon is going to be moving first. Scorching Sands into the Terrakion, not enough to KO it though. Barely hanging on. The close combat, doubling down on Terrakion, and that is going to be enough, and the Vancouver Corbinites now take the lead. Saitama I think is now at -2 on both defense and special defense. So the Gastrodon still going for the Muddy Water, still having the Sun up, so it's not going to be doing enough. The Leon hanging on by a thread. We do see the accuracy drop. Oh, but the Solar Power! I forgot about the Solar Power. That had weakened the Muddy Water a lot already. And Saitama hanging on after that Bind Lash, so it's 2-on-2. We're going to have a close finish right here. Saitama with the Choice Scarf, so that means that it's guaranteed to be moving first. Unless we see an Aqua Jet coming in from the Azumarill maybe. We're going to have the Azumarill coming in from Teichichi's side. It's 2-on-2. Sabasai at full health. What are the coaches going to be going for here? We do see apparently there's going to be that was an Earth Power, doubling down on the Gastro. Both of Teichichi's mons are running really low on fuel. It's going to be Saitama first of all, close combating, and it's going to be enough to take out that Gastro. It was like a 25% health. So Saitama is now going down to -3, but already I think all of the close combats took out at least one mon. The Earth Power coming into the Azumarill. Azumarill is bulky, so it's going to take it. And we have a Dig. Oh, interesting. That is definitely not a move that I was expecting. The Sunlight is finally going to go out. Now, I really don't think that the Dig is going to be enough to take out the Sabasai. It is enough probably for the Saitama. So Saitama is going to close combat. Azumarill is not there. Sabasai is also missing the Sludge Bomb, but here comes the Dig into Saitama. And that is a KO for Azumarill, bringing it down to 1v1. However, I do think this is going to be the end here. Azumarill is really low. It's going to be a Sludge Bomb from the Sabasai, which is going to connect, and that is the game. That was a really intense game from both of our coaches here. GG to both of the coaches. Congrats Torn for taking that win, but Tay also giving us one hell of a match. It's going to be the Vancouver Corbinites with a 1-0 victory against the Dashing Dittos. And that is all for your Week 7 Primetime, already so close to the end of the season. I hope you enjoyed the match. I certainly did. We'll be seeing you all again very soon. And thank you all for joining us tonight. I am SoySalomonster, and y'all take care.